It's a guarded outlook for Singapore's key exports this year, even after logging 13 straight months of growth in December. Analysts expect growth to taper this year, with Omicron continuing to loom over the world. Chua Tin Tian reports.
Strong demand for specialized machinery, pharmaceuticals and petrochemicals pushed up Singapore's key export figures. Non-oil domestic exports, or NODX, rose by 18.4% on-year in December, moderating from November's 24.2% growth, which was the highest in nearly a decade. Exports of non-electronic products grew by almost 20% from a year ago, while electronic NODX went up by more than 13%, driven by continued demand for personal computers and semiconductor chips. Analysts believe the figures show that the region is recovering from the effects of the pandemic and is opening for business.
Regional economies are reopening. They are ramping up in terms of their infrastructure investments, and economic activity is actually returning.
NODX to the top markets also increased as a whole last month, with the largest contributors being China, Indonesia and the EU. But the COVID-19 Omicron variant remains a wild card in the months ahead.
I think it's still early days yet. We really have to see, because a lot of the sporadic lockdowns that we are seeing across China and also some of the tightening of restrictions across economies such as South Korea really only kicked in from late December onwards.
Another concern is a slowing economy in China, where the government continues to lock cities down to stamp out the coronavirus. Beyond that, observers believe developed economies may also cut back on funding for businesses as they enter the third year of the pandemic.
They do create the sense that growth is already on track. There's likely going to be less official support to support economic growth. So with lesser certainties of official support, this may weigh a little bit on some of the investment decisions by companies going forward.
Analysts told CNA that Singapore is unlikely to repeat 2021's stellar performance this year, but barring major setbacks like prolonged and extensive lockdowns in major markets like China, they still expect NODX to grow by as much as 8% this year.